This topic is why we have our fighting game expert James here.
I am not an expert.
Our fighting game expert over here,
Nerd.
Mr. Daigo himself.
I am not. Don't you ever compare me to Die God.
God.
Die God. Yes.
So we're all familiar with fighting games, right? Because I know Chris, he has Dragon Ball Fighters. You play all fighting games that you can get your hands on.
That's not untrue.
I have a history of Smash and Tekken.
I have historical hate of all fighting games.
Exactly, which is why I want you here, Ethan, and why I have Black here is actually very important. So I was watching a video earlier today. The video was called. Let me pull it up. What was it called?
It's called. Let me pull it up.
Fighting games, a genre that keeps struggling. And so I was thinking of the idea. Fighting games are pretty much a very niche genre. It's like more than like city simulators and racing games, but it's like or like flight simulators. Like it's like all those really niche topics is above. It's like a mid tier, but it's never gonna reach COD or like League of Legends.
Yeah,
and it's sad because we're like just under them too, like just barely.
Obviously, like even less than MMO. Like MMO's top. World of Warcraft is number one, and then you have League, you have COD, and then like somewhere in that middle area is
Overwatch.
Fighting games. Yeah, Overwatch also. Anything Blizzard makes is like top tier.
Yeah.
And then in the middle area is fighting games. And so I was going to ask, why do you think that's the issue? Like, what do you think is the issue with fighting games? Why it can't?
So I actually want Ethan to go first, and I want to hear his point of view.
Oh, all right.
Yes, I was actually that's also I was mostly interested.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of someone who's played a few fighting games, I've played a few, not good at any of them, and that's part of what I'm going to talk about here. Is we talking a little bit ago about lawbreakers, and you made the statement of the skill floor rather than the skill ceiling. I think one barrier of entry for a lot of people into fighting games is the skill floor. There are some fighting games, as I found out, that have more like showy, fun versions where you can kind of button mash and have a good time, and but a lot of it is based on learning the mechanics, learning combos, getting a sense of timing, and then finding people that are of a similar skill level to play against. What I think often happens is most of that doesn't happen. People are like, oh, a fighting game, I like Smash Brothers, that's fun. They go to a party, they hang out with a bunch of people, they get their shit kicked in by people who've played the game more than once,
right? And
they are turned off from the genre, as I have been. I have no interest because I've gotten my shit kicked in so many times that I really have no interest in ever trying to be good.
I'm sorry?
My bad.
Nothing was as bad as that one party we went to, Mary's party, where her like random friend just like, hi, he said hi, shook my hand, and then just shit on me in the game, and only me, like he saw me in the corner and like ran over to me and killed me, and then like fight other people. Like I was so triggered by that.
You just walk into the party, he just turns to you, tonight, you're
going down. Listen here, brother.
He did the thing where he recognized that I wasn't good, and instead of giving me some acknowledgement, like other people who see me playing fighting games are like, okay, well, we can't totally dig on him because he doesn't play. So like if he's near us, we'll fight him, but otherwise we'll just let him go, run around in the field and pick flowers. Where he was like, no, this guy's bad. I'm gonna make him know that he's bad. And that brings me to my second point of, I think, one barrier of entry to the community is that from the outside looking in, it looks toxic. It looks so toxic. It looks like a bunch of sweaty nerds playing games and going, you can't do that to me, that's against the rules. Like people who play Settlers of Catan. Like that's how it looks from the outside. It looks
Okay.
like a really toxic community.
So before I say anything, I want to hear Chris because I've seen him literally like start a game and grow a little bit from it. So I want to hear what he has to say.
I believe that fighters, I'll just say fighters for example, I think fighters, as it being a fighting game, is probably going to be one of the games that can actually like revitalize the fighting genre, just because it's not too difficult for people to get into. Because, as you all know, I don't have much experience in fighting games yet. I've immediately started liking playing fighters, and that's because it's not too difficult to grasp. You can learn the combos really easily, and because of that, you can. What am I trying to say here? You can continue to get a little bit better at the game every single time. So I think that while I don't think that it's just that fighting games are just cursed to fall down to stagnation or whatever the term is, but I do think that it could use something to revitalize it. And I think fighters is probably going to be one of the things that could do that. So that's really all I can say on the thing. I don't really have
Okay.
too much knowledge in it. So that's all I can really say.
Well, I'm not going for. I think the intention is not knowledge, but since like we have, like all four of us have different amounts of experience, so I was just wondering what was your take on.
Yeah, that's what I want. I wanted to hear his take on it, coming from different, everyone's different perspective, different point of view, and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a pointless.
Sorry.
Comment on our parts.
I guess I'll go. I do see what you mean. Like when I first started a lot of games, if you don't meet like the really cool, really chill people that are like kind of like take your hand and walk you through it, it does seem terrible, god awful. Won't lie to you, but not every place or not every game is like that. Not every community is so like, oh, you can't even like pick up the controller. I'm gonna destroy you in 1 second. Like because there are some people like that. Because there are people like that with any game. But fighting games, I feel like it's a lot more personal because the amount of time you put in is what you get out. It's a reflection of your skill. And that's not to say just because you haven't put a lot of time in, you're bad. It's just you're inexperienced, Because there's nothing wrong with playing a game casually, especially a fighting game, Because I remember we've all played together. We've played Smash together. We had a lot of fun playing Tekken together. And we always made sure like the people that played each other were around the same like experience, so it wasn't unfair. Because I think that's what it comes down to. It comes down to time and experience. Because if you get dicked on every time, you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna, feel bad. You're not gonna want to play. But if you're like learning and growing with people that are also learning and growing, you're gonna have a lot of fun. You're gonna like learn the combos, learn what's good, what's not good, what's punishable, stuff like that, and eventually learn to really love the game. Because a lot of scenes are really inviting to people. How's that?
If I may, can I compare the fighting game community to the competitive card playing community? Not like poker, but like trading cards.
I would, yeah. I'd say that's about right.
Because I get like what you're saying with like how they are enjoyed or how you can learn them is dependent on who you're playing with, and learning the skills or learning the abilities or learning the cards, I guess, is also dependent on how much time you put into it. Like you can pick up a pack of Uno cards and play Uno, and that's pretty low barrier of entry, or you can pick up Magic the Gathering, which I wouldn't recommend. But it's a similar experience to, I think, with my fighting games is I used to play Magic the Gathering a long time ago, like when I was like 13. And I stopped playing because I was like 13 and didn't have any money. And it costs a lot of money to play trading card games, especially competitively. But when I was in high school, I decided I was going to pick it up one time because there was this dude.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about, who was really obsessed with Magic the Gathering and was like trying to get people to play. And he was like, during lunch, he was like, hey, you want to play a game? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I'll try it. I haven't played in a long time. He kicked my shit in so hard that I never, ever want to play Magic the Gathering ever again. He's like, he was pulling lands like they were literally water. Like he was just
Ooh.
like, I gotta land this turn, and I got another land, and like within like 4 turns, he was playing very strong cards against me, and I had no land, which is just like energy cost if you haven't played Magic the Gathering before. He kicked my shit in. He's like, "You want to play again?" I'm like, "No. Why would I want to play again?"
Exactly. Like it's awful.
It's this. I think it's a similar experience with fighting games. If I had a Tekken was actually quite fun, but because we were playing in a very casual way, if I was to take that more seriously, I probably would not have a lot of fun with it.
Well, then I'd like to have Phoenix comment because I know he plays King, and I know he struggles sometimes on the ladder because of certain matchups. So I want to hear how he feels with that.
Ooh, I hate fighting games.
Now there we go.
My hot take, people. I hate fighting games, but
Wow.
not really. Actually, there's a very weird, as the intermediate guy here. There's a love-hate relationship with fighting games. Like on one level, as you know, Ethan, I'm a fencer, so I have a lot of one, like fencing is literally just a fighting game, but like my own body. So there's a hidden appreciation for playing fighting games that I can get. But my issue is the same issue you have with a lot of fighting games. Since I don't play that many, is that it's just a really painful experience most of the time. And a major issue with fighting games is after like the first month of a fighting game, most of the noobs who are at your level most likely stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Dragon Ball Fighters, its population dropped by 80%.
Oh my god.
On Steam. Yeah, those are like most of the noobs who are going to be playing the game. All the people at your level are gone now. So now you're just getting your ass kicked. You're either getting your ass kicked or whoever you're playing against is even worse than you. Which
It's like when I picked up Titanfall 2 like 6 months after I stopped playing it.
right.
Everyone who was at my level either stopped playing or got really good at the game.
That's a fundamental issue with fighting games, in my opinion, when I played them, which is I just want to win some matches, feel good about myself, but I don't want to sit down in front of my TV for like 3 to 4 hours practicing the Korean backdash when I know I'm not going to. What?
I was gonna say, like, yeah, you hate that. You hate having a lab, and I love it.
It's the same with fencing. I hated drills. I just wanted to get in there and fence some people. I'm not.
My thing is, I don't like dedicating a large amount of time to something, and then being put in a situation where I feel like I've learned nothing.
Yes, we all.
I hate that with a passion.
It is so painful when some like Tekken matches, especially early on, where I'm like going against someone who clearly has been playing this for years, and it's like I press a single input, I'm dead. Oh, he juggled me for 1/2 my health. Can't do anything.
Yep, that's like I bowl with my family. I go to the bowling alley every Sunday, and bowl, and one of the hardest things, and I still struggle with it all the time, is that you can be bowling really well. You can have your form right, you're lined up the right way, your release is on point, you're throwing exactly where you need to, you have the right speed, you have all these conditions correct. But you can bowl like crap because there are so many other conditions that are out of your control that you have no way of predicting or like being ready for that can ruin your game.
Like
you
what?
could be bowling some team they're just on fire. They just are just getting every single strike that they need to beat you. Or the oil pattern could be completely screwed up so that you can't even get into the pocket to get a strike. You're just getting like 9 counts consistently. Or you could just be like the temperature and the humidity in the space can cause your thumb to swell up so you can't grip your ball properly. That you have no control over these conditions. So you can be doing the exact same thing you did the week before and have a different result because of the conditions. So it's like I could spend hundreds of hours practicing in that alley, But as soon as I go into bowl, during the actual time that I'm going to be there, all hell could break loose. I'd hate that so much.
And that's understandable. But there's always like, I feel like there's always a game for somebody. Like, even if you don't want to put a lot of time in, you just want results. I feel like there's always a game out there for somebody to learn, or not even just learn, just like they can just like be playing it, and it's it'll click for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'd say you'd be more of like a Smash person, or Chris with Fighters. Yeah, like Chris, I saw him play like Blast Blue. He picked it up after a while, and he got good at it. But seeing him in Fighters is like day and night. He's so much better at it. And I feel like Ethan Smash is more his field because there's not a lot of combos. It's more on the fly type stuff. You can play it anywhere. You can play it seriously. You can play it casually.
Well, Smash Bros is not a fighting game.
All right, so we're gonna keep doing that. All right, let's see what we're doing.
I'm not doing it. See, that's the thing Ethan was talking about. It's like a bunch of like toxic people.
I'm not toxic. I'm just saying, like, and no. Okay, people don't make that joke. It's just like it's not like recognized as a fighting game, even though like it's been like Evo and stuff. It's basically a fighting game.
Fundamentals of a fighting game.
But like no one will necessarily call it a fighting game. Like no one, like companies and stuff. You know what I mean? They'll recognize it as one, but they'll never officially say, "Oh, hey, this is a fighting game, Jim."
Jim, I have to tell you, big news: Super Smash Bros. That's a fighting game.
It's a party game. That's what the people in the comments always say about Smash. It's a party game.
No, you're thinking of Mario Party, and that's a good way to lose friends.
You're right.
I hate that game too.
So, Ethan, next question, and then we can end this. What do you think they could do to make fighting games more appealing for people like you?
Burn them.
All right.
You've heard it here, people.
It's a hot take, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. It's just, I guess, making them appetizing in a way that makes it feel like, not to say that like, they need a progression system, but I think a lot of fighting games, they have like tutorial modes. They have these like teaching you how to play the game modes.
Skullgirls is a very good one.
But do all of them have that sort of thing?
Not Tekken.
Do they have a list of combos in the menu?
2. No,
2 combos.
4. They have like sample combos that you can use.
Okay. Did you ever play Lord of the Rings Conquest?
Yes.
In the menu, it lists all the combos that you can do. So if you're just having fun, you can pause the game with your friends and look up some combos. It's a good way to learn the combos without having to do Google search or without having to try them out.
Right.
Because I don't personally love labbing. So I mean, if there are like ways to make it so that people don't necessarily have to lab and practice all these things, if they just want to do it a bit more casually. I don't know. It's not something I know entirely, because I really have no interest in learning how to play a fighting game and getting good at fighting games.
Not learning how to play a fighting game, buying and playing a fighting game.
Yeah, no. I don't know what they could do.
All right, okay. Final question. If they made a Star Wars fighting game, would you buy it?
Probably not, actually.
Ooh, really? All right, tell me about that.
Wow.
That's surprising.
Very.
Shocking revelation.
Because I've played the Star Wars team builder game on the phone. I'm forgetting the name of it. It's like a team builder, so microtransaction heavy.
Yeah.
They plug it, as I'm sure the same way they would plug a Star Wars fighting game. Actually, I have to amend that statement because I do own a Star Wars fighting game. Shit. Star Wars Episode 3 is technically... I think it's a fighting game because it's... Did you ever play it?
Yes.
When I bought it, I didn't think it was a fighting game, so that's why I bought it.
It was a poorly made fighting game, but a fighting game.
Not a good fight. It's not a good fighting game. But what they would probably try and brand and say about the Star Wars fighting, like you can play as your favorite people, you can play as your favorite heroes from the Star Wars universe. Uh, that Star Wars team builder is like advertised the same way, and it's garbage.
Well,
It doesn't allow you to do that. You have to spend money to do it, and
It sounds-
I'm not about that.
just like the Injustice in the Mortal Kombat mobile game.
Yes, yes.
So it would play like a NetherRealm game. NetherRealm is Mortal Kombat and Injustice.
Yeah, probably.
No, you seem like a Soul Calibur, like a Tekken guy or a Soul Calibur guy.
I feel like he'd enjoy Soul Calibur or like Tekken.
Yeah, Soul Calibur more since it does have Darth Vader and Yoda.
I've
And
seen
just the way like Soul Calibur plays.
Yeah, it's less combat, less input heavy, and more mind games, which is something you're good at.
Very.
mind games. Yeah. How am I good at mind games?
You remember when we were talking about Overwatch League? You were talking about their strategies and such. That's very much what fighting games are. It's just chess.
I hate chess.
It's
Oh.
active. It's very active time chess.
Yeah, I used to play RTS games, so that's why.
All right, James.
Chris, do you have anything to say? I'm gonna let Chris go because he went after him before. You know what I mean?
I don't really have much to say on the subject.
He was playing a card game.
On his motorcycle.
How did you know? No, but I was listening in. I don't really have too much of a statement to like add. Like I don't really have much of a statement to add to that.
All right.
I guess I'll go. So taking into like, I always try to like take everybody's input into account and be fair. So I feel like I don't want to keep bringing up fighters as a good example because it is such a good example. But like Skullgirls, where it's very like low ceiling, where like anybody can pick it up and play it. But if you want to go more deeper in depth, it's there for you. Making combos and special moves and stuff like that more apparent for people would also be nice because I know Street Fighter 4 had that to where like you could pause the game and go and look it up, like how do you do like Hadouken or Shoryuken or Metsu Hadouken, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They make them a little more accessible, have features that are more accessible to the casuals, as well as an in-depth system that you can go much deeper with for the pros and people that want to like increase their skill at the game. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think it makes sense.
All right.
To explain, Ethan, so Skullgirls in tutorial mode is like 80.
Didn't we play that? We
A
played
little
like
bit. I didn't go into tutorial mode. Everyone was talking about, their breasts.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Tutorial
So,
mode.
It's like 80 different options in the tutorial mode to explain every single concept to you. And then there's
Wow.
like an individual section for each character. And it explains, here's what they're good at. Here's what they're bad at. This is what you should be doing most of the time. And it will spend time going over those inputs. Like
If Overwatch had this system, I would probably like it a lot more.
I think it's a lot harder to do with Overwatch.
It is because it's all situational, but like,
It would just say play Tracer the entire time.
yeah, I would say play Tracer or play Moira
Right.
or Brigitte.
Also in Guilty Gear, their tutorial mode actually put you against every character, tell you how the matchup works. Those are useful things. In Mortal Kombat, you can actually put the special moves on the screen while you're fighting, so you can see what you actually have to press to fight.
See, it sounds like something that's more inviting rather than just like figure it out yourself.
Yeah. I know some people like that challenge of just figuring it out, but I also know a lot of people
Yeah.
get frustrated when they can't figure it out.
I feel that.
Yep. I think the solution to fighting games is appealing to casuals a lot more. And not in the sense of making the game easier, but to very much emphasize the fact that for most people, they're going to have fun just like playing with their friends.
Yeah, because
Like,
that's overall like that's the main invite of fighting games is hey, playing with my friends and having a good time.
it's like playing Overwatch comp. There's never a fun moment playing with a bunch of people you'll never see or hear.
Almost there at 12.
Yeah, telling
Yeah.
you why you have a Widowmaker.
Yeah. I one last Overwatch story to end this out. I was playing comp today, and I right at the end, I was with this group of 4 people, and then there was me and Lorando, and I got the play of the game as Zen, and the guy literally said, "Oh, the Zen that did nothing," and I immediately said, "I'm in chat, right?" And then it shows me getting a play of the game where I killed 4 people. He's like, "Oh, I guess he did something."
Ooh.
Like,
Ooh.
I carried.
I have gold medals, guys.
I have 4 gold medals.
I have gold and everything.
I think that match I actually had gold hero damage, which was stupid.
That's actually a problem.
Yes, I should never do that. I should not be doing that.
Telling you were playing with the dragons.
I was undead. They let me go.
He actually got taken off?
He got released, yeah.
Oh, alright.
I feel happy for him.
Yeah, he's free now. The free bird.
Yeah, I'm a peacock. Yeah, let me spread my wings.
Yeah.
Alright. So, that's the end of this. I'd like to thank our guest
sponsors.
here, Black, for being on.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure
Thanks.
to be here. I'm glad things lined up. My family has been constantly texting me and asking, "What are you doing? Can you come out? Can we come in? etc."
Nice.
Alright.
Very, very nosy people.
Sorry I'm getting you in trouble here.
I don't give a damn.
Oh. Thanks for being here.
Yep.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
glad to be here. I hope I can come back one day.
Come back anytime. So, and Chris, thanks for being here. See you next week, right?
Yeah, glad to have been able to talk again.
All right. That took
Yep.
that took too long to make work.
Yes, it did.
And we'll see you next week. Logging off.
On the Insert Disc podcast.
Yes.